Hello and welcome to Russ's Movie Corner. My name is Russ, and as you can see, I am sitting in front of my movie corner. And today you'll notice that I don't have anything around me. I'm not actually wearing any particular shirt at all. I'm just kind of doing this as a comments on comments episode. This was I did a couple of different let me see here. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay. So, I've done a few comments on comments episodes before, and, this one's gonna be the next in the series. The one that I just did was on a YouTube comment that wasn't even on my channel. It was on a different channel, Red Pen Logic. And so I'm just kind of doing this as... This one is actually one from my page. So this was actually my Simon Dan rebuttal of the Simon Dan Ken Hovind video rebuttal that I did about a year and a half ago, something like that. It's been a while since I've actually done it. And so I ended up... there's been a lot of comments on that lately. I don't know what happened, but like, it exploded. Like, it went nuts, and I could not believe just how freaking crazy that thing went. So what I'm gonna do is I didn't screen cap the actual, so you'll notice that there's no, graphic here. I have my computer screen set up in two panels side by side. So I have myself on one side, and then on the other side I have the comment. I'm going to read out the guy's comment, and then I'm going to respond to it. I usually do this when it gets to a point where it's going to take me like 3 or 4 YouTube comments to actually, and probably more, because of how verbose I have to get with the language and with... trying to, bring everything around. And so I'm just like, at this point, it's like, you know what? We're just going to throw this together. So I will put, like, right here who the guy is. I don't have his screen name on my thing, but it's been a back and forth. And... basically, how I usually answer my comments is I don't have internet at my apartment here, okay? So, my movie corner here, okay, this is a corner in my living room in my apartment, and my kitchen is literally, like, right there. I'm looking at my dining room and my kitchen, so, like, basically where you see me painting, that's my dining room and my kitchen, okay? I usually turn off the light in my dining room, and then I turn on all the lights in my... I turn off the lights in my kitchen, and I turn on all the lights in my dining room, so my kitchen's nice and dark. That way you're not looking... And then I put up my big, Hero Quest, board topper and, everything, so that you don't see directly into my kitchen, because it's not always clean all the time, and there's... a bunch of stuff around, and so I just don't want to do that. And so so because I don't have internet here at my apartment, what ends up happening is usually I go and spend the weekend, Sunday afternoons with my parents, because I'm the only family they have over here. My brother and sister-in-law live on the other side of the state, and we don't see them much because they have 2 kids. They're both working, and so, they're out. They're gone, I mean, they're doing stuff, and we totally get that, and we don't want to step on them. So my parents and I decided that, I go to church on Sunday mornings, and then they come and pick me up, and then we go and we hang out for the afternoon, and I have lunch and dinner with them, and then we just kind of hang out and do some things. So generally what I'm doing there is I'm actually, like, I'm uploading videos, okay? I'm trying to do a more regular upload schedule on Sundays, and then I'm trying to get, and then, so when I do things like this, like comments on comments, I want to be able to that's when I usually will answer my comments. And so sometimes I see a comment from somebody, okay, and I may not, or I may think that that comment is in a comment thread, or that somebody brought up that comment that maybe wasn't that person that brought up that comment. It happens, okay? I'm only human. Shit happens, okay? So, so for this guy, I basically said, you know, hey, you know, I didn't bring up the channel. You need to go back and read the whole thread, because like you need to go back and look at all of the different comments on all of the different threads on the page, because, you know, I wasn't the one that just brought up, you know, this thing unnecessarily. Basically, this guy got triggered because I had slammed the door on someone pretty hard about them having, I think it was like 4 subscribers and 0 videos on their channel, trying to tell me how I should run my channel. And I'm like, dude, seriously, like, because this guy comes to my channel, okay, watches a little bit of my videos, and he's like, well, you know, you don't really know what you're talking about, so maybe you should try to do something else. I'm like, no, dude. And I had seen another comment from another guy around the same time, and I said, that said, oh, you know, you're a channel who's got, you know, less than 50 subscribers, and you're attacking someone with 500,000 subscribers. You know, you're punching up. You don't really understand what you're doing. And so I kind of conflated those two together, and I had clicked on the guy that had told me to go and, you know, make other videos, and I assumed that it was him that brought up the channel thing. It wasn't. But when I make a mistake like that, or when I see 2 different comments or something, I try to acknowledge that, okay? And I come back. So this guy quotes me and says, you really need to go back and reread the whole thread, which is what I told him. He goes, you say, when in reality, you are literally the first person to have brought up channel size. I did read the thread. It's what makes you wrong. No one used the state of your channel as evidence as to why you might be wrong. Again, ad hominem requires, and this is another thing we get into, is ad hominem. Basically shut the door in his face on ad hominem, and he keeps trying to come back and redefine ad hominem attacks. So it says ad hominem request requires that the person doing the insult is actually using the insult in order to back up an argument. So then I'm basically saying, no. The channel size was brought up by another person, and then I used it back against him. The guy with the screen name, The Ultimate Reductionist, said it 5 months back. I probably didn't see it until I saw some people trying to tell me. Basically tell me what I'm supposed to do with my channel. So what I'm saying is that this guy, The Ultimate Reductionist, brought up this comment about, you know, well, you have less than 50 subscribers, and this guy has 500,000, because talking about Dan, and he's like, so, you know, you're punching up. And then I saw this other comment about this guy, about this other guy trying to tell me, this is not the same guy, this was a different guy, trying to tell me what videos I should make on my channel. And I conflated the two. And I basically said at the time was, yeah, says the guy with, you know, like 4 subscribers and 0 videos on his channel trying to tell someone else how to run their channel. Good luck with that. That's basically all I said. And I was basically trying to, and I'm not using that as an ad hominem attack. I'm not using that. I'm basically saying, dude, it's almost like if you were to step into the ring with Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield, or pick someone, okay, an MMA octagon with, you know, Conor McGregor, okay, and you have 0 experience on MMA fighting or boxing, and you're trying to tell that person how to do their job. That's basically what that guy was doing, okay? I looked at his channel, and I'm going, dude, you have 4 subscribers and no videos, and you're trying to tell me how I'm supposed to run my channel. I'm putting my face out here. I'm putting myself out here, and you're trying to tell me how to do things? That's not how this works, man. Okay? Go back, get some experience, and then come back and tell me how to do my job. Okay? Because this is an argument that I would use against kids who would do this when I was coaching track and field, okay? And I'm talking high schoolers and middle schoolers, okay? They would be like, "Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Okay. What are your accomplishments so far in your track career?" Because in my 2 years in middle school and 5 years in high school, okay, I won races, I lost races, I was varsity for 3 years in high school, okay, I set a meet record my senior year. Not only did I set a meet record, it stood for 5 years, okay, and then I went out and I got 5th place in state. Now that's number 5 that's not top 5%. No, that's number 5 out of all the 4A state athletes in the 200-meter dash. Number 5. I would have been number 4, but they couldn't see my number on my hip through the AccuTrack picture. I was actually 4th, because I was actually ahead of the guy, but they couldn't see enough of my number to tell that I was in front of him, so they gave him 4th, and they gave me 5th. When you can boast those accomplishments, then you can come back and tell me how to do my job. Until then, you're going to pay attention, because that's why I'm the coach. I'm not the coach for my looks. I'm not the coach for anything else other than I know what I'm doing because I've done it. That's called experience, okay? And when you have no experience in this, don't try to tell people who are doing it how to do things, okay? Until you've had some of that experience, then you can come back and say, well, maybe you shouldn't. But you're not doing that, okay? That's all that was, okay? I said, sometimes I don't pay attention to the screen names. Sue me. And I've said that before. Sue me. I'm only human. Okay? I said, which means that this guy was calling me an insult way before you came along. Which means that is a personal attack, and it is an ad hominem attack. And just because I conflate the two doesn't necessarily mean that I'm wrong in what I say. So then, he says, when you say it means to attack the man, you're saying that slightly out of context. What you do not seem to realize is that not everyone cares about convincing someone else of their argument, especially not someone such as yourself, who has demonstrated that very clearly that you are unwilling to hear out an argument, and that you'd much rather put up the front of an argument, while in reality you just commit fallacies while claiming everyone else around you is the real committer of the fallacy. Dude. Can you even English, bro? Seriously. Run on sentences. Think before you type, people. Okay? And I'm going to say this to everybody out there. Atheists and Christians. Think before you type. Okay? Now, let's go back to the asinine comment here. Basically, as stated in one of the other asinine comments that I've responded to on this same thread, atheists, you call us Christians names all the time. All the time. Okay? In fact, that's the whole basis of this argument. They don't even realize they're doing it. This guy is trying to justify... So the original comment that I'm responding to here, okay? The original comment that I responded to was this guy came on my page, okay, and said, quote, it looks like God just has to have all these dumb nut tuggers, speak for him or something like that. Okay? And I'm like, wow, straight to the ad hominems. Straight into the ad hominem attacks. You didn't even attempt to do anything. And the funny thing is, that original commenter never came back. Never responded back. The other responders have been other people trying to defend this guy for calling me a dumb nut tugger. And here's this guy attempting to justify it. Think about that for a minute. Really let that sink in. That they're trying to justify calling us names to get out of an argument. Which is exactly that's what ad hominem. See, this is the thing. These people don't even know the etymology of ad hominem. Okay? It literally means attack the man. That's literally what the fallacy is. It's attack the man. It's you're attacking the person, not their argument. There's nothing else you can do with it, folks. Nothing at all. And the problem is that these guys are trying to redefine it, see? Because if they can redefine it, then they can use it against you. Well, see, you're doing it. No, I'm not. They are. The problem is, you're trying to redefine it so that you can justify this guy calling me names and get away with it. Okay? And I will admit, there are Christians who have done it too. Okay? I'm guilty of it. I did it a long time back. I haven't done it in a long time. I try not to when possible. Sometimes it's hard not to call people ignoramuses and just outright stupid because that's what they are. But that's fact. When you're calling out someone, when you've gone through the motions and you've hit all of those facts and they just refuse to do it, you're welcome to call them stupid because at that point they're willingly ignorant. They are willingly stupid of the facts. And that's not an insult. That's a truth. It's when you're deliberately insulting someone to avoid trying to engage them in debate. That's an ad hominem attack. That is the very definition of an ad hominem attack. And you can go look that up on Google, folks. It's just what it is. I mean, and that's what this guy's doing. He's just... I mean, this guy, he does not want to engage in the debate. And he just thinks of Christians like me as dumb nut tuggers. Okay? And I called him out on it. Which means, since he hasn't answered back, he has nothing to say. Nothing legitimate anyway, because he would have. And we're going to get back to that in a minute. I am attempting to draw him into a more civilized conversation, rather than just immediately jumping to the conclusion of every Christian is a dumb nut tugger. I'm trying to draw him into a more civilized conversation of what exactly makes you think that? Do you have anything that can back up your argument rather than just immediately jumping to the conclusion that all Christians are dumb nut tuggers because that's what you think? Because that's not an actual argument. That's a subjective opinion of this guy. It has nothing to do with anything else. Okay? But this guy... Okay, this guy that I'm talking about here, he's the one that wants to defend this guy calling Christians dumb nut tuggers. So go on, defend him if you must. But it just makes you look more foolish. than you already do with your redefinition of what ad hominem attack is. And yes, it is, by definition, an attack on the man, because you are not attacking the salient points being brought up. You're just attacking the man by calling him a name. That it is, by the very definition, that is ad hominem attack. Then he goes on to say, and this is just hilariously funny, and this is actually kind of where I was like, okay, I got to do this comments on comments, because I got to this point where I was like, wait, what? Listen to this. Okay, this is what he says. This is what this, like I'll put the screen name down here. This is what he's saying. It gets tiring, as I'm sure if the point, so most of us would rather just insult you directly for the sake of insulting you, and not for the sake of proving you wrong, given you clearly don't play ball with argumentation. I'm like, well, I said, so then why do it? To look big? Like, ugh. You're just stupid. You're a dumb nut hugger. You don't know anything. You know what that is? That is playground stuff. That is literally childish playground bully behavior. Prove me wrong! I mean, seriously, dude, I haven't heard that since I was in like 1st or 2nd grade on the playground, okay? With somebody calling me Four Eyes because I wore glasses at the time. I've been called every damn name in the book, son. Come on. It takes 0 brain power to call somebody a name. And here's this guy literally defending insulting someone and not calling it an ad hominem attack. And saying, I'm not the one playing ball with argumentation? What? Since when have I not played ball with argumentation? Have you read the comments? Every video I do, every one of these type of videos I do, I get so many atheists. You don't know what you're talking about. I win, you lose. Har, har, har. Every damn time. Not one of you has brought up a single point that I haven't argued and defended, that you can't come back and say, oh my God, that's not right. This is how it is. Not one. Man. Like, if you try attacking the points instead of the man, you won't have to make stupid claims like, most of us would rather just insult you directly for the sake of insulting you, and not for the sake of proving you wrong, given you clearly don't play ball with argumentation, which is a complete lie. That statement is a fallacious statement. That guy is so stupid. You can't not say that I have not argued the points when they've been brought up. Normally, when people have insulted me like this, I've just said, do you have anything besides ad hominem attacks? Do you have anything against the points I've made, rather than just stating, you're stupid, I win, you lose? Because that's basically what they're saying when they say those things. Okay? It's like, if you attack the points, it will actually make you look smarter in the eyes of the general public. Because right now, just, here's the funniest thing, okay? Go to an atheist YouTuber comment section, okay? And read through some of the threads, some of the longer threads, okay? And inevitably, when a Christian loses his temper, there will be someone immediately jumps on, "Roar! You're a Christian! You're not supposed to act that way!" Every damn time. And yet, this guy wants to sit here and think, "Oh, well, see, we're just going to insult you because we don't think you do anything." The fuck? Like, dude, you guys haven't brought up a single point yet. And I'm not the one playing ball with argumentation? Oh, man. I'm like, you know, I mean, here's the thing. My 50 subscribers, okay, the guys watching this video right now, thank you for subscribing, by the way. Share me with your friends. You guys don't always respond, and that's okay. I don't mind. But you guys read the comments sometimes. I know you do. Okay? And the funny thing is, they know what I know. Okay? And they know how childish you look when you just insult the person. Or when you make asinine statements like this, where you're like, "Oh, we would just rather insult you directly for the sake of insulting you." Anyone can insult. But it takes a man to respond. Or a woman to respond. It takes a person to stand up and actually make salient points. And make an argument. Okay? That's why I say the word son a lot in my comments. Okay? It's because of behavior like this. You are literally acting childish. Okay? You're acting immature. And that statement, okay? So most of us would rather just insult you directly for the sake of insulting you? Yeah. You're immature, son. Oh, back to that point of not playing ball with argumentation. When has that ever happened in my comment section? Ever! I mean, maybe one random comment on this page that I haven't seen in like 6 months, because I get so many of you atheists coming to my page and saying asinine things that maybe I just don't respond to it because I don't feel like responding. Oh. Or, oops, I didn't see that one in the sea of other comments that are calling me insults, or they're calling me names, or they might be bringing up other salient points that maybe I want to respond to instead of responding to, "Oh, you're just a dumb nut tugger. Oh, I'm going to insult you for the sake of insulting you." Yeah, son. That's what I do. I am allowed to respond to the comments I want to respond to. My page. Okay? Or maybe I've answered that comment somewhere else on the page. Maybe that person responded in one comment in one place, and I copied that and pasted it in, and I took another comment from that person and copied it into the same page, you know, like a Word document, and then I go down and answer it, and then I respond to that second comment, and it's in a thread somewhere. And so the first comment was up on the page somewhere over here, and the second comment was down over here in a thread. And then maybe he answers me back, but maybe he answered me back in a different format, in a different comment thread. And I didn't see that. So, dude, you, with this screen name right here, you're the one. Okay? You're the one pushing this, "we don't want to argue" bullshit. And I'm going to come right out and say it. It's absolute bullshit. Okay? You're the cause of this. It would have been much easier for you to say, yo, first commenter, OP, shut your trap, man. You're making us look bad. Do you know how many times Christians have come to atheist comment pages and even sometimes on Christian comment sections and been like, guys, don't call people names. Don't try to curse that much. Don't try to do this. Don't try to do that, because if you get angry, they're just going to point the fingers at you and they're just going to say, see. Yeah, but they do it. You got to point it out on their side as much as you're pointing it out on our side. Okay? And that goes double for you atheists, because you guys are the biggest hypocrites of this. The biggest hypocrites. You guys call us names all the time. Okay? And yet, we're the ones that are supposed to act Christian? No. You want respect? Earn it! So then, he goes on to say, this is what I'm getting at when I say a statement must be implicitly attempting to use an insult on the person's argument on why they are wrong, considering the difference between telling someone your opinion on taxes is invalid because you are not smart, and telling someone you are not smart, also your opinion on taxes is invalid. The first is ad hominem, but the second is just an example of an insult followed by a lack of an argument. What? Oh. Okay. You guys do this all the time. Okay? I'm dead serious about this. This is not a generalization. Atheists, you do this all the time. Okay. The first one is a subjective statement based on a personal opinion of someone not knowing anything. It has ad hominem overtones, sure. But it isn't just a straight ad hominem attack. The second is an insult and also has the same ad hominem attack overtone. They're basically the same thing, just stated two different ways. Good job. You played yourself. So listen to that again. Telling someone your opinion on taxes is invalid because you are not smart, and telling someone you are not smart and also your opinion on taxes is not invalid. Do you know what I tell people all the time? If I have to explain your theory to you, your argument is invalid. That's not an ad hominem attack. What it is it's stating a truism. Okay? Basically stating that if I have to explain the theory of evolution to you, that means any and all arguments you could have had are now automatically invalidated because I know more than you do. And that's basically what this statement is saying, okay? Is your opinion on taxes is invalid because you are not smart, okay? That has ad hominem. That's a subjective statement because you're not bringing up any reason why that person's opinion on taxes is invalid, and the only thing that you're saying is because you're not smart. Do you know that person isn't smart, or are you just making that up? That's why it's not a straight up ad hominem attack. An ad hominem attack would be you are not smart. That statement in and of itself is an ad hominem attack. Okay? And then adding on that, and also your opinion on taxes is not valid. But the two statements are the same. The difference is where you're putting you are not smart. Okay? It's basically stating the same thing 2 times in a row. It's a subjective statement. You don't know if the person is smart or not. You're assuming that. And you're just stating that their opinion on taxes is not valid because of their lack of intelligence, which, again, you are assuming. If you had just said, you are not smart, that's an ad hominem attack in and of itself. Tacking on your opinion on taxes is invalid doesn't make a difference. That's a subjective statement. Okay? Because you have no basis to say that other than that's your opinion, which is what a subjective statement is. A subjective statement becomes an objective statement when it's backed up by facts. Which is why I say that any argument you have is invalid if I explain your theory to you. So if I'm explaining the theory of evolution to you, then, in my opinion, I know more than you do about your theory, and so any and all opinions and statements and arguments that you could make in the future are automatically invalidated because you have no basis in fact to be able to outsmart me. Okay? That's a factual statement. That's not an ad hominem attack. Okay? But you guys, you atheists, do this all the time. You guys come at us and you go, you people are stupid because you don't know about science. Actually, we do. Okay? Actually, we do. And we probably know a lot more about science than you do because where you are getting your science is very questionable. Because you are unwilling to do the basic amount of research on trying to figure out if something is real or not. You just assume it is because you've been told it is. But you come to our pages, you come to our comment sections, you come to our videos, and you're like, we're right, you're wrong. I win. It's a subjective statement, and you do it all the time. Coming over here and saying God must need dumb nut tuggers, that's an ad hominem attack. It is. Because you're not attacking any points I brought up at all. You're just insulting me for the sake of insulting me because you think you're right and you think I'm wrong. That's an ad hominem attack. Because you're not attacking the points at all. Even if you were to bring up any point and then you were to say, because you're a dumb nut tugger, it would still be an ad hominem attack. You just don't get it, dude. You just don't. So then he says, like I said, while people here are calling you a dumb nut tugger, no one here specifically is saying that this trait of you being a dumb nut tugger is what makes you incorrect. They are just saying... Come on. Let me go back and say that again. So, like I said, while people here are calling you a dumb nut tugger, no one here specifically is saying that this trait of you being a dumb nut tugger is what makes you incorrect. They are just saying that you are one, much in the same way that if someone was wearing a red shirt, you'd be able to say that they are wearing a red shirt, and that would have absolutely no effect, positive or negative, on your ability to argue with them on a separate topic. Again, to say ad hominem is attacking the man is simply out of context. To be ad hominem, you must be attacking the man specifically in order to make an argumentative point on whether they are right or wrong about something. No. That's not what ad hominem attack is, dude. Ad hominem attack is attacking the man instead of the points. It's attacking the man with a lack of points. That's the point. Okay? But again, just the sheer, like, do you even English, bro? Like, did your keyboard, like, run away from your brain? I mean, like, did your fingers just... So you are saying that the trait of me being a dumb nut tugger is what makes me incorrect. Then how is that different than what you said in the previous paragraph about ad hominem attacks? Because in the previous paragraph you said, we just want to insult you. And then in the next paragraph to that you said that, you know, you were not smart, and, you know, so therefore your opinion on taxes is invalid, is an ad hominem attack. And then you come here and say, you're just saying that you are one, much in the same way that if someone was wearing a red shirt, you'd be able to say that they are wearing a red shirt, and that would have absolutely no effect, positive or negative, on your ability to argue with them in a separate topic. No. Because I'm not saying, because you're wearing a red shirt, you're wrong. Because that's what this guy's saying. Okay? He came here and said, God must need dumb nut tuggers to make his defense. He is basically saying that that trait of me being a dumb nut tugger, okay, is what makes me incorrect. It's literally what he's saying here, okay? I mean, it's like, like this whole paragraph that he put makes even less sense than what he just said about the whole, like, you're stupid so your arguments are invalid, and your arguments are invalid because you're stupid. Like, the amount of mental gymnastics to avoid civil discourse on YouTube is astounding. Especially from this guy. This is amazing. I have never seen this level of mental gymnastics. Okay? I mean, this guy's even less intelligent than I gave him credit for. I'm dead serious. Like, originally I just thought maybe he just didn't understand what ad hominem was, so I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. But after reading this run-on sentence of a just god-awful bunch of tripe, just, oh my god, man, it's like, oh, and you call me the bad one? Oh, man. I'm like, your argument is invalid on the basis of lack of intelligence. Go learn what an ad hominem attack is before you come back and attempt this again. No, seriously. Go Google ad hominem attack and then go back and read the first comment that the guy said to me. And then come back and read your asinine statement here and then tell me that you're correct. I guarantee it won't happen. So then he says, if you are to attack the man, but do it specifically for a lark, and are not using the attack to bolster any argument, it isn't ad hominem, and is not an argumentative fallacy because you aren't trying to argue in the first place. Like, no, you don't have any salient points, dude. I've never once just insulted Dan or Dave or Aaron Raw, Larry Nelson, or anyone else on this platform just because I don't agree with them. But you guys do it all the damn time. And now you're justifying it. You are literally attempting to justify it. What the hell, dude? Seriously, this is weird. Like, I've never had that. I mean, it's like this is now just a learned behavior with all atheists. Okay? I mean, it's like, this is not a generalization because I could point to any comment on that specific Simon Dan video. Turbo Brain did it. The reductionist, the ultimate reductionist did it on a number of occasions. This guy's doing it. The other guy's doing it. The guy that originally said this. There's been plenty of comments just in this one thread of people calling me names. You guys do it all the time. Man. Like, these guys are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. I'm dead serious. They are the biggest hypocrites. Now, ask yourself this. Okay? Ask yourself this question. Why did I make this Simon Dan video, rebuttal video, in the first place? unless I was looking for civil discourse rather than just people going, "You're stupid." I mean, if that's all I wanted, I would have just stayed in Dan's comment section. I mean, I'm dead serious. Go look at some of my comments in Dan's section. I have so many people calling me names there. If I'd wanted that, I would have just stayed there. That's what I'm saying. You all do this. It's because you cannot argue the points. And it's because you're the most ignorant people alive. It's why I tell people, if I have to explain your theory to you, your arguments in the future, anything you could ever think of, anything you could ever come up with, is automatically invalidated. Then he says, "This leads to another mistake you make in logic, which is the assumption that just because someone has called you a name, you then think that this is somehow conclusive proof that said person has no better alternatives than arguing with you." Yeah. Because Dan did it. If you go back and watch Dan's video, that's what he did. He barely came up with 10 seconds of an argument against what Kent Hovind was saying. And when I bring it up, people tell me I'm not making a point. Yeah, I did. I'm making the point that Dan made no point. And you're doing it now. Every single atheist on YouTube does this. Because, and forgive me for this, you're a hypocrite. Because you just said earlier in this post that you insult people like me because it is easier. Easier than making a point to prove you're the better man? So you would rather just go onto somebody's video and say, "You're a dumb nut tugger," or "It looks like God needs dumb nut tuggers to make his arguments for him," rather than just saying, "Hey dude, I don't agree with this point for these reasons," and then waiting and seeing what they say, and then having a civil discourse. You haven't proven anything other than your propensity to come to someone's channel, attempt to tell them how things work in your world, all the while you get triggered when they own your ass. Which is what I did in the previous comment to this one. I freaking slammed the door so hard in this guy's face that this is what he comes back with. He literally comes in and says, "Well, it's easier to insult you." And then he comes here to, this leads to another mistake you make in logic, which is the assumption that just because someone has called you a name, then you think this is somehow conclusive proof that said person has no better alternatives of arguing with you. Well, you, by your own admission, just said that it's easier to do that. Because you don't have anything. If you'd had something, you would have said it. And I've said, I don't know how many atheists I've said that to. Even on the Simon Dan video, I don't know how many atheists I've said that to. I have so many people come to my Dan page, come to that Simon Dan video, and just say, "Oh my gosh, you are so off base. You don't understand science." Okay, what about science don't I understand? Well, it's too numerous to name. Okay then, give me one. Well, you're just stupid. That's not an argument, dude. That means you have nothing. And generally, when that happens, I end up slamming the door so hard in their face that that's when they start calling me names. And I'm not joking on that. They do it all the damn time. And you're doing it right now. So, yes, you all insult Christians because, yes, you have no argument. Because if you did, you would just, I don't know, say said argument instead of just insulting people. It would make you look better. Instead, now you're just looking foolish and hypocritical. Then he goes on to say, there's a pretty substantial oversight to this assumption. And that oversight is that you are assuming that any given person is actually arguing with you in earnest. So I love how you were trying to continue. I love how you were trying to continue to rationalize someone's insult. What a fool! I guess you missed the point. Go back and reread all my paragraphs up to this point. I mean, seriously, go back and reread them. Okay, in that comment thread, go back up there and start rereading all of my comments, because all I asked, and if you go back and read the original comment that I posted under the guy's original insult, I basically just said, I basically asked him, do you have an actual argument, or are you just prone to just saying ad hominem attacks and then leaving? Because if you have something, go ahead and state it. I would love to know. I would love to have a civil discourse with you. And that's all I said. And then we have this big long thread that's like, I don't know, I can't remember how many freaking things. I'll put a little thing down here of how much it is. But I looked at that and I thought, my God, these people don't fucking get it. They don't. Like, it's just so bad. It's like, my God, man, you are literally trying to rationalize insulting people and like justifying it as not an ad hominem attack because you're insulting someone. How hypocritical can you get? My God. And then he says, you are assuming that people care enough about what you think to argue, and you do a very good job of proving to people that they should not care about what you think, which causes people to not take you seriously and to withhold effort they could spend on anything else on you. What even is that? Like, oh my gosh. So this is like one of the biggest like defense mechanisms that atheists come up with whenever they get owned. Whenever you own an atheist, this is like the biggest defense mechanism is like, well, you just think people, you know, like want to argue with you or care enough to argue with you when seriously we could go spend anything. Dude, why are you even here then? I mean, honestly, I don't give a shit what you think. I don't care what you think. I stopped caring a long time ago. Okay? I've been in this fight longer than you can imagine. Since pretty much the inception of the World Wide Web. Okay? I've been in this fight. And it was probably about 2 or 3 years after I started this fight that I finally just said, I don't give a fuck anymore what people think of me. Because the only person that I care about is my Father in heaven. Okay? And when I get there, I want him to say, well done, my good and faithful servant, for defending the faith. Okay? Because I don't care what you think. Honestly, I don't give a rip what you think. But I'm like, this video, okay, this is me owning your ass for being so stupidly idiotic to think that insults are somehow okay just when you say them. They aren't. In fact, if I had called that guy a dumb nut tugger, or if I had called Dan or Aaron Raw or Matt Dillahunty a dumb nut tugger, okay, you all would be pointing at me, telling me that I'm being non-Christian, as if you had any inkling of what that means, and so on. You guys do that all the time. As I've stated, this is so hypocritical. Hypocrite much? Yeah. Then he said, typically, I would say that you don't understand this, but I think deep down you do understand it, and you are acting this way on purpose so that you can intentionally drive people away from you for something actually worth their time so that you can pretend you've collected a W, which if so, that's just sad, man. I think the one that fails to understand what happened here is you. So you come here a year after the original poster, and then say that no one wanted to talk to you. Okay. Then why did you think it was okay to post your original comment? I mean, if you didn't want to talk to me, then why did you feel it was okay to comment and justify someone's insult? Come on, tell me. Do you realize how idiotic that is? And it's pretty damn ironic. I mean, you come to somebody's page, you see somebody saying, you know, oh, God must need dumb nut tuggers like this guy to make his arguments. And he goes, and then the person who made the video goes, do you have any salient points, or are you just going to ad hominem attack me? And then you try to justify him calling me a dumb nut tugger and trying to redefine what ad hominem attack means. And then sit here and go, well, nobody really wanted to argue with you. Nobody really wanted to talk with you. Okay. So then why'd you start this conversation? Dummy. Oh, I mean, come on, man. Well, you may have started it, but I'm finishing it. So go on, keep thinking it's okay to commit the hypocrisy you're doing. It just makes you look so desperate and sad. Then he goes, and now we're back to the part where you are upset that this non-existent people who aren't really apparently criticize the size of your channel in this thread at a point before you started the same line of logic. Where are they? Who are they? Dude, I just told you at the beginning who it was. It's the ultimate reductionist. In fact, you can just scroll down from where you are, okay, from where your comment is in there, just keep on scrolling down, and you'll see a guy named the Ultimate Reductionist, and it'll point up, and it's about 5-6 months before, and he'll have a little thing there, and he talks about subscriber counts. So yeah, that's who he is, that's what he is. So, you know what? Yeah. Get your head out of his ass already. And he says, it certainly isn't Terry Reynolds. Literally, all he said that you chose yourself rather than God picking you. And then you called a gatecrasher, which is derogative to be sure, but also not a discrimination based on channel size either. Who the fuck cares, man? Seriously. Certainly not Terry. He didn't fucking respond. And certainly not the Ultimate Reductionist. Okay, which leads me to, so explain it to me exactly, who brought up the channel size before you? Again! The Ultimate Reductionist! Duh! So what if I said it to another person? Who fucking cares? And the other thing is, I didn't even bring it up as an own. I brought it up as a, dude, you don't have any channel to speak of. So don't try to come around here and tell somebody who does have a channel, who is trying to grow their channel, how to do things. It's not how it works in the real world. Okay? Then he says, who are you criticizing back? Well, at this point, okay, I'm talking about people who have not engaged on YouTube before. Okay? Because I'm actually criticizing you right now. I'm criticizing the asshat who made the insult in the first place. Because I asked if he had any points. Not demanding points. Not standing there like putting a gun to his head and going, you must have points. No, I'm saying, dude, do you have any points? He obviously didn't. Because he would have answered back if he did. Instead, here you are, a year later, trying to justify insulting people. How ignorant can you be? Seriously, dude. Then he said, the answer is no one. You are not pointing out the hypocrisy when you are the first one ever to do the thing you accuse the other side of doing. And in fact, what you are doing is making the assertion that someone lacking a suitable channel statistic for your whims is somehow unfit for argumentation by virtue of their channel statistics not being good enough for you, which is ad hominem. Oh, man. Oh, the amount of mental gymnastics necessary to get to this level of cognitive dissonance is staggering. Oh my gosh, man. Oh, wow. Dude, seriously. Like, if you go back and look at it, like, yeah, the Ultimate Reductionist told me, like I said, it was like 5 or 6 months ago. And if you look at the comment that I said to that guy, the Terry Reynolds, I guess his name was, he did that. Like, he came out and was like, you know, oh, what are you doing? You should be making other content. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was basically like, and that's why I said, like, I'm like, dude, you have like 4 subscribers and 0 videos. Like, stop trying to tell people what to do on their channel. Like, this is my channel. I will do what I want. I don't care what you think, basically is what I said. And so this guy is now here, okay? He got triggered because I told Terry Reynolds off for trying to come at me, okay? And then he comes in and is like, and it's like, dude, I'm not using his channel statistics to tell him he has no argument. I'm just saying you are not putting yourself out there except on comments. So until you do, don't try to come around here and tell me how I should do my stuff. Like, don't come to my channel and tell me how to run my channel. Okay? And it's like, so it's just so funny how this guy is trying so hard to justify me being the problem instead of the guy calling someone an insult. And I mean, like, this is just staggering. Like, ugh. So yeah, when I got that original subscriber post, I probably didn't realize it was the Ultimate Reductionist. Okay, and I'm dead serious about this because I went back before I wrote out this little script. I actually went back and I looked at it again, and I was like, yeah. And so as I was having, I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah. So it was probably, it just, yeah. So the guy that was, the Terry Reynolds person who was talking about, trying to tell me what to do on my channel, didn't have anything to do with the subscriber count, okay? But that doesn't make my point invalid, okay? And, so I didn't respond to the Ultimate Reductionist post. So sue me. I don't care. Okay? I mean, wow. And so it's like, yeah, no one's perfect, okay? Not even you. But if you, person, okay, is what perfection passes for, I'd rather be imperfect. Okay? So let that marinate, you ignoramus. So, this guy just needs to go back to mom's basement. Stop justifying insults. All of you. That goes for Christians. It goes for non-Christians. It goes for atheists. It goes for everybody. Don't justify insults. You're not being the bigger man. You're just being a lazy SOB. Nobody cares. Nobody does. Not even me. Okay? So, the next post I expect from this gentleman is, I'm sorry, I messed up. I went off the deep end. I will be better in the future, and I will make sure that people don't justify insults and don't just insult for the sake of insulting. Okay? Otherwise, if I see another post on this Comments on Comments video or over on my Simon Dan rebuttal video about somebody trying to justify an insult or attempting to justify this hypocrisy, I will bring the banhammer. It is within my right. I can ban people from this channel if I want, and I don't care. Because again, I'm not in it to please you. Okay? So go ahead and cry about it. Cry about being banned. I love that. Somebody thought that I deleted a comment of theirs off the channel because they didn't see it. And I'm like, are you sure you didn't just accidentally delete the comment or something? Because I'm like, I don't just delete things unless somebody's absolutely being an asshole. Okay? And I mean, this guy cried for like 3 or 4 posts before I finally told him to go F himself. Like, get out of here, dude. I'm like, go cry to mama, because nobody cares. Like, honestly, nobody gives a shit. So, you know, I mean, it's like, this is the thing, guys. As a Christian, okay, I'm just going to say this, okay, to other Christians out there. Say the facts, okay? If you need facts, come to my channel. Go to Ken Hoven's channel. Go to Answers in Genesis. Go to Cross-Examined. Go to What Do You Mean? Go to Mike Winger's channel. Go to Red Pen Logic channel. There's a ton of Christian channels out there on YouTube. You can find them. In fact, as soon as you start searching one, a whole bunch of them will show up in your feed. Okay? It's part of the YouTube algorithm. Even though they're kind of... Even though they're technically shadow banned, they're not really shadow banned because you can kind of, you know, get away with it. But, you know, I mean, if you need something, come to my channel, drop a comment, just say, hey, I want to know, you know, like, I want to start defending my faith a little better. I will help you, okay? But don't attempt to justify insulting someone. Ever. It doesn't work, okay? Doesn't work for us, doesn't work for them. They're the ones that are doing it all the time. And it's just so funny to me how hypocritical this is, where this guy's literally justifying doing it. And then turning around and saying, oh, well, you know, you just think people want to do this. No. I asked. That's it. That's all I did is I just said, hey, do you have any salient points? It's not like I'm walking up there with a gun and pointing it to his head and going, give me your points! I don't have any reason to. What would I do? I mean, that's not what this is. Okay? Civil discourse on YouTube is a very simple concept. Okay? You take what the person says, you answer it. Okay? Then they answer you back, then you answer them, then they answer you, then you answer them. And you bring up your points. Back up your points with research. Find articles on Christian sites and on non-Christian sites. Okay? Because if you just post Christian sites, they're going to go, well, all these are Christian sites, and those are just dumb. And that is willing ignorance. Okay, that is them saying, I don't want to have to try to read through this stuff that is completely counter to what I've learned in school, and so I don't want to drop, you know, I don't want to have to read through it all and try to debunk it. That's all that is. Okay? I've basically told people, I said, well, if you're not going to look at my Christian sites, then why should I look at your secular sites that you post? I turn that right back around on them. Then why should I have to look at your stuff if you're not going to look at my stuff? So if I have people with PhDs writing papers that aren't peer-reviewed, because all peer-review is this, okay? Good job, son! That's all peer-reviewed is, okay? But if there are people out there that are writing books that have PhDs, that have this stuff, that have backed up their arguments with actual hard science, and have done all that stuff, have done all the research, have done all the things, and you're going to just willingly take all of that information and go, wee, then why should I look at your pseudoscience, okay, of people just interpreting things based on circular reasoning? Like a geological paper, for example. Why should I believe that you can date these rocks? Because you can't. I mean, there's literally a comment on the Simon Dan where this guy goes into this whole long, lengthy explanation. I mean, he even put in like little ASCII charts of like all these different things, and he literally sat there and he has like 2 or 3 charts, and then right at the bottom of the paragraph he goes, so when all of the numbers are equal, so when all of the numbers back up what the rock layer is supposed to be, then we just take those numbers. The rest of them we throw away. And I went, you just made my point for me, dude. You literally just played yourself. You literally exposed the flaw in the parent-daughter isotope ratio is, well, if it is, then we look at it and we take it. If it isn't, then we just throw it out. Which is what we've been saying all along. It's all made up. So if it's backed up by, if they want to say that it's 65 million years, then they look at everything that is within like a couple, million years of that date, even though it's not. Because on a mass spectrometer, and I've studied this, on a mass spectrometer, you get all sorts of isotopes, okay? And you get all sorts of different things on those isotopes because they're all decaying at different rates. And so you can't just take one number and say, oh, that's the number that we're going to use. You can't do it. Because they're assuming that that's what the number is. And so when they get numbers that back that up, they keep those numbers, they take the rest, and they throw them away. And that's the problem. It's not hard science at that point. So, I know this has been an hour. I wanted to kind of get this done, and I'm hoping to get it up right after I get it filmed here. I'm going to have to kind of edit it tomorrow when I've got my when I've got access to YouTube, and I can actually go to the comment section and I can post in the guy's screen name, and I can post in some different subtitles and some different things for it. And hopefully I can get it out tomorrow. If not, then it'll be out probably Monday or Tuesday as of filming this. This is a Saturday right now, but anyway, it is what it is. It'll be up when it's up, and so smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment below, let me know what you think of this. Tell me if you think that this guy's justifying the insult. I really do. I mean, it's like, that blew my mind the minute I was looking at this, because like the first couple of times I thought, is this guy really trying to do this? Like, is this guy seriously trying to do this? Or maybe he's just confused. Maybe he doesn't really understand that this guy's just like straight up insulting me, and maybe he'll freaking realize it and then come back and say, oh yeah, sorry, didn't realize that this guy was just insulting you, I'll do better. No, he came back with this, and I was like, wait, what? Oh my god, what the hell? Like, this is just stupid. And so I figured, and by the time I got done with it, I mean, it was like almost 4 pages of text that he wrote. Yeah, it was 4 pages of text that he wrote, and I got to the point where I was like, well, this is gonna take me like 3 or 4 comments, because YouTube only has a certain character count, and I've known by the amount of things that I've had to do that I've had to go like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and it just gets to the point where people can't track what you're trying to say anymore. And I just thought, comments on comments. I just need to do a comments on comments episode. So that is forthcoming this week. I'm gonna do it. And as I said in my last comments on comments, the one is right here, the Far From Home, and then I have the original 3 Spider-Man, the 2, and then that one right there is No Way Home, and I mean, absolutely awesome. If you haven't seen it, watch the first 3, watch The Amazing Duology, and then watch No Way Home. It helps if you've seen Homecoming and Far From Home, and if you have, then definitely make sure that you're up on your Spider-Man lore before you watch No Way Home. Otherwise, you might miss a few things in there. That's all I'm going to say. But when I get there, it will be spoiler territory, so know that going in. So don't just watch my video and then go, dude, you spoiled it! Yes, I told you there was going to be spoilers. I'll put a spoiler alert there, and then I'll put a little link past it at what time, so if you want to fast forward past it and then hear just kind of the rest of the review. But that being said, that is coming. I also I had filmed at one point a comparison video of the Dune, the 84 Lynch, the miniseries, and the 2021 version of Dune, and kind of talking about what had happened and some other things. But for some odd reason, my Lenovo Yoga tablet, the one that I've been using for my Let's Play of and my and filming my miniatures tutorials and my Sword and Sorcery Let's Plays, that one kind of went. It didn't save it correctly, and so I ended up losing that footage. So I'll refilm that one here and get that up on the channel as well, because I think I talk about that in my Dune review. Like I said, I wanted to kind of talk about the 84 and the 2000 and then the 2021 Dune. Considering that, like, they're almost done filming and it's supposed to be due out next year, so I'm like super excited. I'm like, yes! Can't wait. So because I'm like super excited, like that 2021 Dune, and like that was the one Dune that like every single Dune fan has gotten behind. I mean, it's the first time that I've been in a fandom where people are pretty divided on the books. Like some of them like some of them like the Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert, but like and most of them don't. Like there's kind of a split. Like, some of them are kind of like, I've read them and they're okay. And then there are some of them that are like, I've read them and they're awesome. I'm part of that camp. And then there are some of them that are like, I read them and they're horrible. I'm never reading them again. There's only 6 Dune books. And it's like, well, okay. But that movie, like, everybody loves it. Like, everybody loves 2021 Dune. And, I mean, it's like everybody's been gushing about it. Everybody's been like, we can't wait for the trailer. We can't wait for the next part. And it's like, I know, it's killing me, the anticipation. So yeah, I'll do that. I'm also I've been thinking about doing some movies based on video game movies, because I have a bunch of video game movies like Assassin's Creed, Dead or Alive. I have the Street Fighter, the movie from '95. I have Mortal Kombat. I have Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li. I have Resident Evil, which I did a review on a little while back. But like this one, I really love. Like this one is one of the ones that got it right. Now I haven't seen the newer Mortal Kombat. To be honest with you, I haven't, and it's kind of been eating me up inside. Like I need to get a hold of it and do it. And there are some other ones that I wanted to do. I'm just looking around right now. Oh yeah, Alone in the Dark I have, which it was okay. It wasn't the best. I know some people are going to be like, "What are you talking about? That movie's horrible." It was okay. It was just okay. But like I have a whole bunch of, like, I'd have to go through and pull them all out. The ones that I have, I could sit here and look all day. But basically, like, I have a whole bunch of movies based on video games, and I'd love to be able to sit down and talk about them. And I'd love to be able to, kind of do a whole, thing of them, because like I have like Hitman, and I have Hitman Agent 47. Like I said, I have Assassin's Creed. There's a ton of them that I have. I know. Oh yeah, I have In the Name of the King, Dungeon Siege Tale, which was another Uwe Boll. Let me see here. What else do I have? I'm just trying to think. I have the original Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. Ooh. I'm just trying to think of what else I have here. Urgh. So yeah, I just have a whole bunch of. Yeah, I'll have to get them all together. I'll have to get them all out and kind of look at them because I have this Street Fighter film called Assassin's Fist. I can't remember where I picked it up. I just happened to see it. And it says, one of the most successful and most loved fighting video games of all time, Street Fighter is given the epic and faithful treatment it deserves. Street Fighter Assassin's Fist takes us back to the formative years of the iconic characters Ryu and Ken, as they live in a traditional warrior's life in the secluded mountain wilderness of Japan, training under their master, Goken. The boys are the last practitioners of the ancient fighting style known as Ansatsuken, Assassin's Fist. As Ryu and Ken learn about the mysterious past of their master Goken, will the two friends become bitter rivals as their training reaches a climax? And so, I mean, I could watch this. I haven't watched it yet. In fact, it's still in the plastic. It's still in the plastic shrink wrap. So I mean, I have a whole lot of Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, which. I'll be honest, I've tried watching. I can't get through it. It is boring. I'm sorry. It is just, I get about halfway through it and I go, ugh. And I know I've been talking like 10 minutes now, but I'm trying to get some ideas, okay, of what I can do for movie reviews that you guys want to see. So drop some comments below. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. Okay, and then I'll start making some DVD reviews here pretty soon. I'm going to continue doing some of these. I've got a couple videos that I'm going to make on some apologetic stuff, and I'm kind of taking a break from the Final Fantasy III Let's Play for a little bit because I lost my footage. I had everything filmed up to a certain point. I went back to get everything, and Active Presenter decided to take a dump, and it wouldn't let me bring up backed up footage. So I lost everything. So now I got to go back and figure out where I was and get back to that point, because I'd already moved on in my thing, and then I have to get back to the point where I was, and then I have to keep continuing on from there. So it's going to take me a while to get back to that point, so I'm going to work on that, and when I get done with that, we'll keep on going. I'm still working on Chrono Trigger. I haven't actually played it in a while. To be honest, I actually sat down and started playing Final Fantasy IX on the PlayStation because I wanted to see how long it was going to take me. I'm currently on Disc 3. I'm over 20 hours in, which is to be expected with Final Fantasy IX. It is an absolutely gigantic freaking game. And then from there, I started playing other Final Fantasies because I kind of got a little stuck on that one, so I just thought, okay, I'm going to set that one aside for a minute. And so, played some Final Fantasy, played some Final Fantasy 2, played some Final Fantasy 5, because eventually I'm going to try to get a capture card for my computer so that I can plug my PlayStation into it, and then I can actually record straight from the PlayStation onto my computer. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it, rather than trying to find a stupid emulator anymore, because the emulators are so hit and miss, and I'm tired of trying to find an emulator that just doesn't work. So, again, smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment below, share me with all your friends. Let me know what you think of this Comments on Comments episode. Let me know what kind of movies you'd like to see done. If you'd like me to, if there's a specific movie that you'd like to see me review, and we'll kind of go from there. I know I've been promising the Bond retrospective for so long, and I haven't gotten to it yet. I will need to get to that pretty soon, but I'd like to get that done first. So I'll get the Spider-Man review out of the way, and then after that, I'll see where I'm at, and I'll see what I want to do. So, as we always say, we will see you on the next one.